Welcome to Push to Pass podcast with JP Murray, a discussion about business, racing, sports, and life. This podcast delivers insights on what makes businesses, teams, and people successful based on real-life business experiences. Following a career with America's largest associations, JP Murray founded the Murray Company, one of Washington, D.C.'s most successful consulting firms. The company was acquired successfully and enabled him to launch JP Murray Racing, a business development and sponsorship agency for auto racing teams. Here is JP.
Hey, welcome back to the Push to Pass podcast. It is JP. We're going to discuss today the mindset of abundance in sales and address another separate issue, the margin that you need to keep moving forward in business development. I don't want you to go through a self-inflicted sales slump. That's what I'm trying to avoid here today. So we're going to talk about the way you're setting your mind. And I think this is good, frankly, for any entrepreneur. It's easy to get frustrated in sales when you see other people buying, your competitors signing new deals, others succeeding. But instead of dwelling on this downside or the fact that it looks like everybody's succeeding, I'd like for you to adopt an abundance mindset. You see, in any market, there will always be ups and downs. It's inevitable. And during those downs, it's tempting to point fingers and to blame external factors like prospects in the market. But that's like getting caught in a vortex of doom. It causes bitterness. And frankly, the better you get in business, you're going to have competition that they're going to be better at what they do. And they're going to succeed every once in a while. Sometimes they're going to get the W. But I always believed there was enough to go around, and I still do. When you have an abundance mindset, you understand that the market decides. It's not about the competition or necessarily even scarcity. It's about recognizing that there are opportunities for everybody, and success is not limited to just a few. You just have to pursue and do what you can to get your piece of that. So abundance means you become more focused on the right things, like asking better questions, improving your marketing narrative, qualifying and prospecting better, delivering a better presentation, and being more familiar with the market so you can structure your offer to what they need. So that has nothing to do with anybody else, because it isn't the market's fault that people are not interested, that they don't buy or get back to you. It's frankly up to you. It's likely your offer, service, price, lack of specifics in presenting the value proposition, or a little bit of all those things why you're not succeeding. Not the fact that somebody else isn't returning your call and that somebody else is winning every once in a while. Super important in my mind not to blame the market. Folks, believe me, we are still in a land of plenty. I believe another thing that is super important to your mindset is a certain amount of separation or margin from the deal. And that's difficult because sales can be so personal. Hey, you're on the front lines. You're hearing the objections. You're making the calls that people won't return. You have people go dark on you and they never respond ever again after what you think is a great call. All those things. You receive the individual downside of the system, but also you get some of the benefit because when a deal comes in, you get paid directly on commission. So there's upside. You give it everything you have to be successful in this business. It is personal, and the more personal you make it, I believe, the better you are. Quite simply, it matters more, and people can tell that from you. So I've never bought into this, hey, it's not personal, it's business. Because, man, believe me, I'm immersive and I give it everything I can. So it does become a part of my persona. But the downside of that is this can become a sales problem for you. The more immersed you become in every deal, the losses start to become a weight on your shoulders. Self-doubt begins to start occupying your self-talk. When the self-doubt occurs, I am 100% certain that you won't act enough or have the activity you need to make deals happen if you have self-doubt. Uncertain people do not scale anything because they are afraid of a failed outcome. And when that happens, I can almost guarantee you'll lose because you won't do the work. So I intentionally use a narrative or language that is very much distanced from the situation. Hey, it's something like this. If this works for you, let's move forward. If this isn't a fit, do me a favor and let me know. It's okay, but tell me why so I can fix it if I can. That kind of language is, I think, a little bit disarming for all of us. It's less pushy, but it also does something else that's more important to me, and that is it gives me margin. I can make calls like that all day without getting worn down. I can come back from that because I'm not making it about me. I'm giving the client, the prospect, and myself a little space to say no, to provide feedback, or whatever it is. So give yourself that kind of margin while giving it all the energy that you can. Self-doubt becomes eliminated because the deal is not about me. It is more about them. And that's always a good way to think about business. The more it's about them, the more successful, in effect, you become. So those are my mindset hacks for you today. I hope they're helpful. Join me on YouTube, Facebook, LinkedIn, Twitter. I'm always there with content. And man, I tell you what, I would be super grateful if you would share this podcast with a friend. And I can't wait to chat with you next week on the Push to Pass podcast.
Thank you for listening to the Push to Pass podcast with JP Murray, a discussion about business, racing, sports, and life. If you would like to sponsor Push to Pass, send an email to jp@jpmurray.com. Follow JP on Twitter, LinkedIn, Facebook, and YouTube. His website is jpmurray.com. Until next time, push yourself to pass the competition. Thanks for listening.